And welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Smackdown Review. As Paige once said when she returned after Sasha Banks and Mickie James were beating the crap out of each other, I'm back. And did you miss me?
Back. That's
Friday.
Barbara.
Yep, the doll is here to talk all things SmackDown, and I am not by my lonesome self. I have the ultimate fan here with me.
Hey, how's everybody doing? It's your boy P. Nelson, the ultimate fan of the building. Hope everybody enjoyed SmackDown.
Well, SmackDown was fine for me at least, except for the first hour and some change, only because there were a few things that made me very unhappy. For starters, because Pat McAfee was unable to attend tonight, we had to deal with Corey Graves for another 2 hours. Like, when that happened, I literally said, God dang it, I had to deal with him for 3 hours on Raw. I don't want to deal with him again on SmackDown.
The reason why Pat McAfee
for heels, I don't like him.
I think the reason why Pat McAfee was good because he got beat up.
Yeah, he got beat up by stupid Happy Corbin because Happy Corbin doesn't know.
They're going to attack him from behind. You saw that?
Yo, this your man, Steam.
Okay, someone's having fun backstage. I wonder who. But anyways, ignoring that, we get that little introduction to that, and we get what a lot of people were very happy to see. Some people were, others were chanting, "You suck." Was the arrival of the Bloodline with their wide...
historic and unprecedented event is occurring. Question of...
Okay,
who's Matthew first? Stop that.
He's having too much fun. I can't stand him. Anyways, so we have the Bloodline coming out. You got Wiseman, Paul Heyman, you got the Undisputed Tag Champs, the Usos, and you got Roman Reigns. And you got the Usos now included in the Roman, like the holographic thing, which I thought, oh wow, now they're actually relevant enough to be shown on that thing after them doing that on him for nearly 2 years without them. Interesting. But they come out, they start talking about how, well, Roman starts mentioning how he's happy to basically be here, that he's happy to be able to get up, go to work, feel good. That even if nobody likes, that if any of them don't like me, well then, so be it. I'm still here. I'm still in God mode, son, and I will do whatever the hell I want, and I will beat whoever the hell I want to keep my belt because there is no one in this place that can beat me. With Paul Heyman looking like he's about to crap his pants, and then Roman asks him, "Just tell us what's wrong." And then he's like, "Well, you're beating everybody. You fought everybody in every single way, but I'm worried that you're going to have to go savage with Brock for this last man standing match," with listing out all his accolades of him winning titles at certain ages, breaking the Undertaker's streak, which leads to them basically promoting more and more about the upcoming last man standing match 3 weeks from Saturday. And then you have Austin Theory looking on the sidelines because he's trying to play mind games with these people.
That segment was good. I remember Paul Heyman. From what I could take from that segment, Paul Heyman said was telling how Paul Heyman was telling everybody how Roman Reigns is going to beat Brock Lesnar in last man standing match. He said this time Roman Reigns is going to annihilate you. He's going to dig deep into his soul and destroy you for the last match. That was a good segment. It did what it had to do.
Doesn't it always?
That match is going to be a final match. It should be a final match.
It should be, because everybody's getting bored.
I hope they beat the crap out of each other. I don't know who's going to win. I have Roman Reigns going to win because he got Usos on his squad.
I mean, we really don't know who might win.
It's going to be bloody. It's going to be a bloody match. I'm expecting for them.
Well, it is a last man standing match, so that's the only thing we can expect. But we'll find out around that time, although I probably won't because I'll be doing something. But we have the Viking Raiders, the new vicious Viking Raiders, go up against Shanky and Jinder Mahal for the first match of the night, which basically what we expected. The Viking Raiders to beat the crap out of both of them. Shanky just dancing a little bit, trying to have fun, and Jinder Mahal being like, "Oh hell no! Don't you dare do this shit right now. We're not playing around. Stop acting an idiot and just get over here and fight like you're supposed to." Which normally I don't care too much for what Jinder has to say, but like the thing with Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, that's basically what it is. Especially since now that those two are separated doing their own thing, now they're kind of doing that again with Jinder and Shanky. What's going to be the end goal with those two for that? I don't know.
I think Jinder Mahal should leave Shanky because Shanky jokes too much. Jinder Mahal should be treated like a world-class champion. Shanky is way below him.
Well, unfortunately, for the last year and some change,
Jinder should ditch Shanky. He should turn on Shanky. If Shanky wasn't there, he should join the New Day.
He could. But like I was saying, you say Jinder should be treated like a world-class champion. For the last year and some change, he's been treated like the biggest world-class jobber that they've had. Not trying to be mean, but it is what it is. Call a spade a spade.
He should be like a bona fide superstar. A bona fide WWE superstar.
Well, everybody that's still there, regardless of whether they're a jobber or not, are still bona fide superstars. But the match ended. The Viking Raiders get a victory, and then we get the New Day coming out, basically saying that y'all like kicking our butts, but every time you have, it wasn't sanctioned, so therefore, it doesn't count. So what we have are some tickets for your ass beating, because we gonna come up in there, we gonna whoop that ass. But unfortunately, they're the ones that got their asses whooped and basically obliterated into next week's SmackDown.
They're going to fight next week.
Pretty much, again. But then we have... Well, let's take a look at some...
I hope Viking Raiders lose to New Day. I don't think so, but I hope they do.
Well, at some point, maybe. But right now, they're having to be so dominant and overpowering and being the aggressive, not unstoppable force that they were in NXT, that I think for right now they're just going to have them be dominant and beat the New Day and any other team that they have going up against them. So let's read a couple comments that we have, mainly from one of our Ultimate fans, besides you, Mr. Mike Riggs, who says, "Hello, Unpopular Review. This is Mike Riggs welcoming you to the WWE Friday Night SmackDown review show for Friday, July 8th, 2022. Welcome back to the show, and yes, of course, I miss you very much." Oh, thank you.
What about me, Mike Riggs?
Hold on, of course he misses you too. Some people just like looking at the women more. I don't know. He says, "Wrestling Doll and Ultimate Fan, I would like to apologize for my very long opening comment, and guys, I am so very excited and proud of Liv Morgan becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion." See? He says, "I shared this episode of Friday Night SmackDown review show for tonight. Thank you very much." And he says, "WWE television shows haven't been the same without Sasha Banks and Naomi, in my opinion, and this is really heartbreaking for me and the rest of the WWE universe."
It is.
As someone who got into watching WWE because of Sasha Banks, it is heartbreaking. However, with what they wanted to do with the two of them, if they were having some issues with the team or making it look like they were having issues with the team, I'd understand the direction they wanted to take, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. And until word gets out that they're officially out, we fully don't know. Because these dirt sheets, they'll spread stuff everywhere like no tomorrow.
You know, I'm reading something. I'm going to get off topic. Some guy, right, he posted something on Facebook saying that Vince McMahon is done. So I'm like, wait, where did he get his sources from? He said that Vince McMahon no longer going to be back in WWE. And I'm like, where did he get his sources from? I didn't comment on his Facebook page. So I type it up. They said that Vince McMahon paid more than $12 million in hush money.
Let's see. Everybody, raise your hand if you were surprised by any of this being said about Vince McMahon and doing any of this. Oh, wait. Nobody's raising their hands because nobody's surprised. You've seen half of the stuff that they did like in the 90s. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something actually happening backstage for real.
Vince is so pervert. He had a pervert mind.
Well, I mean, hello.
He's very
Look at
perverted.
him and look at half the talent and look at most of the talent that they hire. A lot of them get hired because they're pretty, like Trish Stratus.
Because of their looks.
Yep. And look, Mike
Yes,
did
sir.
miss you, Patrick. Look at that.
I'm pulling your leg, Mike Riggs.
And we got someone else. Hi,
Charmaine, the queen, Charmaine.
as Divine Intervention would do.
Charmaine.
And she doesn't like Liv Morgan being champion, but that's
Wait, who
fine.
are you going for, Charmaine? Hold up. Put that comment back on right now.
Yes.
Charmaine, who are you voting for?
Would you rather have had Ronda still be champion, or would
Ronda
you rather
Rousey
have been
promo,
Natalya be
why?
champion?
Yeah, Liv need to work on her promo skills too. I'm not saying Liv promo is the best, but Liv need to work on her promos.
They could have had somebody been a mouthpiece had they just listened to her being Ronda's mouthpiece in the first place, but they said no. But anyways, getting back to SmackDown, we have Gunther's open challenge for anybody and anyone to fight for the Intercontinental Championship. And they're like, there is nobody man enough to fight me. But then Shinsuke comes out, and I am upset, not because he comes out, but because Pat McAfee's not there to dance to it. But I got more upset because stupid Corbin had to come into the commentary table and dance on the table with Corey Graves to try to do what Pat does best. And you cannot do that because nobody makes magic like that, like Pat McAfee with Michael Cole.
That's true.
But instead of Gunther...
Speaking of Pat McAfee, Pat McAfee signed a multi-year deal with WWE. He stayed with WWE. I'm happy for him.
One of the only good decisions that this company has made all year. But instead of Gunther fighting Shinsuke Nakamura in there, we get Ludwig Kaiser fighting him instead. Which it was nice to finally see him be in action since being called up to the main roster. I've seen him live in NXT. He's a great talent. And seeing him back on TV, I was like, okay. I remember seeing what I've seen on NXT. He's a good talent.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately for Ludwig, he lost to Shinsuke and he got punished by getting chopped like 5 times by Gunther. Almost like punishing him like a dog, unfortunately.
Gunther chop block is deadly.
Yeah, they are, and they sound deadly too.
I know
a wrestler in real life who can chop like really hard.
Question for everyone in the comments. Would you guys take a chop from Gunther or the Big Show?
Absolutely no one. Not for me.
I want to hear your thoughts and opinions.
I'd rather not.
I would take a chop for Gunther, but it depends on I want $10 million for a chop.
Listen, I'd rather hear Carmella talk about how fabulous she is for 5 minutes for $5 million versus taking a chop. And I don't want to plug my ears up from how much she talks and screams. But after that moment, we get Liv Morgan, our new SmackDown Women's Champion, coming in. Yes. Coming in talking about how hard she's been working for this. Which I did read that 8 years ago, on July 2nd in 2014, she got a phone call to come in to be a part of WWE. So 8 years later to fruition, she becomes a SmackDown Women's Champion. Go
ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So basically, she's getting talked to by Michael Cole, basically explaining how she's been working very hard, putting her blood, sweat, and tears into working hard to being a superstar in WWE, working as a waitress, training really hard, being proud of being the people's champion, so to speak. And then as she keeps going, which as I'm going to have to say this because it distracted me for a while, those boots that she had on were ridiculously ugly. And the only reason they had those on her was because it was this with the shirt that she had wrapped around her waist, but that was still ugly. But we have Natalya coming in, interrupting, basically saying like, oh, congratulations. Hope you enjoy it while it lasts because you're not going to have it for very much longer. And if it wasn't for me injuring the crap out of Ronda's knee, you wouldn't be champion in the first place. Which I do give to her. That is true. But a lot of times, how many times do those superstars cash in on anybody while they're hurt?
Natalya, you know what I like about Natalya? Natalya, she was the last couple weeks, she saved the promo for Ronda Rousey. But I cannot get behind Ronda Rousey's promo. Even today, I still cannot get behind Ronda Rousey. Well, she barely got a promo. But Ronda Rousey made
anybody that Ronda works with the other
Natalya
person.
ate Ronda Rousey a promo. Natalya ate Ronda Rousey promo. Natalya chewed out Ronda Rousey a promo.
Like I said, anybody that Ronda works with saves her promos.
Huh?
Anybody that Ronda works with, the other person saves her promos. Natalya saved her promos when they were having
like twice.
In the bank. Charlotte Flair saved her promos before their matches in WrestleMania and in Backlash. Ronda's a good wrestler. She's not a good talker, but she doesn't want to do a lot of talking. She wants to do a lot of fighting, which I understand, which is why she needed a mouthpiece. But we do get them tussling a little bit. Natalya tries to attack. She attacks Ronda. Liv throws her out. And then we come back and we get a little rematch between the two of them. And we see Ronda kicking the crap out of Natalya's leg on her hamstring and beating her down so damn bad that Natalya has to tap to get let go. And
that match it was okay. It was just a filler match.
I mean, it was a filler match, but I also feel like it was secretly promoting the fact that it could be a triple threat at SummerSlam.
What happened to Rhea Ripley, though? I hope Rhea Ripley's okay.
Rhea Ripley apparently has a brain injury, so she's not able to be on right now.
What kind of brain injury is that? Yeah, I read that.
They really haven't said anything about it. All they've been saying is that there was a brain injury.
No bueno.
Sí, no es bueno.
No es bueno.
Nope. But let's see what we got other people in here saying. Well, Mike says, my hair color is making me feeling a lot better because he's been busy working at his 2 new jobs as of late. Thank you. Well, for Charmian, everybody is better than Liv Morgan, apparently. We got Mike saying Liv Morgan is absolutely beautiful with the SmackDown Women's Champion around her waist, in his opinion, which I find nice on her, too. Then Charmaine asks, why is Corey there? He sucks like his wife. Yes, that is a good question. Why didn't they bring Jimmy or Byron Saxton to do it? To have somebody to play off of. But then again, they need somebody to do the ass kissing. That's the only reason why he's there. Since he gets paid to ass kiss Carmella on Raw, and especially even more so now that they're married, now he can do it somewhere else and make a little more extra money. Then we got our number 1 fan over here. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. You can do that. I will not. Nope. Nope. I refuse.
Good job, Elvis. Drop you one.
I've only done it one time and I will never do it again.
Throw the one, just a little bit. Ready?
Nope.
Halfway up.
Nope. None whatsoever.
The one.
We got Mike saying Big Show hands down. Charmaine said from Drew. Elvis says to take a chop from Carmella. No, I said to listen to her yap and groan and moan and complain and talk for 5 minutes versus taking a chop from any man on the roster right now. Right? And then he says Liv is boring. Liv just needs to work on her promo skills. She's talented in the ring. She just needs to work on her promo skills. Love Lacey as a heel, which I do agree with. One of the few times I will agree with Elvis. She's not the greatest face. And when we were, I read this and I didn't notice until I read it, but there were people that were actually booing when she was reaching for the briefcase. Which goes to show that no matter how much.
They were booing for Lacey Evans. Yeah, they were booing. Yeah.
Listen, no matter how hard you can try to push somebody to be a babyface, if they've been a heel for so long and they're good at it, they're not gonna really root for them being a face. It's like if they were to turn Theory into a face. How many people are going to root for him when that happens?
Nah, me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, nah.
Not me. I'm going to be like, I still don't give two shits. Then we got Mike Riggs saying, Ultimate Fan, bro, Corey Graves and his wife need to be fired from the World Wrestling Entertainment, aka WWE, because they're kissing during WWE Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. Absolutely makes me sick to my stomach, in my opinion. Well, he can only kiss her and her ass and her face when she's not covering in an ugly face mask on Mondays, because they're getting paid to do that now, especially now that they're together. Then Charmaine still says, hashtag Liv Morgan is not my champion. We got lots of comments and lots of love. Charmaine says she wants to see Shayna beat Liv. I would like to see Shayna actually get a singles title run at some point. Because she is a strong champion. She was a very strong NXT champion, 2-time champion.
Yep, that's true.
And since they brought up to the main roster, they've made her look nothing but like a rabid pit bull.
Blame it on Vince. I blame it on Vince. Creative, not just Vince. Blame it on creative. Once Vince was up with somebody that you about to get released. You about to be jobbed out.
Well, newsflash: Vince McMahon is stupid and so is creative, and I feel like they're smoking some of Riddle's weed. I say it every week.
I would love to for Shannon to be.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you for joining us today. Usually whenever I see you, you're on NXT Tuesdays with your other best friend, Bad Guy Jack.
Ooh. Shay, Captain Shay.
No, for Ron. And then Elvis says that Corbin was amazing on commentary, but then Pat McAfee, you can kiss my. I'm not even gonna finish that. But you're absolutely wrong. And then he says, in my opinion, Liv Morgan is my champion because she chats with me on Twitter since this past week, and I must say Liv Morgan will be a fighting champion. There's just a lot going on with the show. Well, there were more so some filler matches today and some filler sketches and promos. And speaking of filler promos, we had the Maximum Male Models show off the 2022 tennis collection.
I didn't care for that segment.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either. They just had a little runway moment just walking around in the tennis outfits, making it seem like the models are ready. Who are they going to bring in next to part of Maxim Male Models? Who will they bring for Max Dupree? Makeover that isn't Lacey and Mansoor.
You're going to be the female model. You're going to be the female model for Max Dupree. Barbara from female model Max Dupree. I'll sign your name up.
Well, if you're saying me, thank you. I appreciate it. But I don't think I don't qualify for his brand of beauty. But that's fine with me.
Yes, you're beautiful, okay? Stop that.
Well, thank you. But speaking of things that weren't so beautiful, we have what was supposed to be a women's tag match with Aaliyah and Lacey Evans against Shotzi and Shayna Baszler. Instead, what we had was Lacey Evans coming in and out trying to get more applause, more cheers and all that stuff. Kind of like when Kurt Angle was walking out during his intro and the people were chanting, "You suck," and he wouldn't stop going in and coming back until they stopped doing it, even though they didn't.
Yep.
And then she starts basically saying like, I am working my butt off. I told y'all my life story about how hard I'm working and how hard I've been making my name for myself, and this is the respect that I get. This is what I get right now. Like, are you kidding me? And then she's basically saying, until y'all give me the respect I deserve, y'all can kiss my ass, go to hell, because I ain't coming back. Which I figure when some of our other members of our group, mainly EC, saw that, he must have been very happy to hear that he might possibly not have to see too much of Lacey Evans on TV ever again. And then with Aaliyah trying to talk Lacey down, she gets hit down with the woman's right, and then Lacey walks out of the ring.
Punch. That was dope. I like that. That was really good.
It was a good segment. Lacey Evans makes a much better heel, although I will say this character that they're having her do is not bad. I just kind of like the other character she had before.
Oh, when she was in NXT, when she was still in wrestling.
No, when they called her up to the main roster, when she made her debut in the Royal Rumble, either in the Royal Rumble or probably a little before, but when she had like the thing kind of dressed more like a 1950s sailor's pinup kind of thing with her more interesting entrance music to me.
Interesting.
Well, interesting for me. I still like that intro music. But let's see what some of the people are saying. We got Jeffrey saying Natalya didn't get no offense. Kind of the idea that since Natalya beat the crap out of her leg then, Ronda's going to do the same to her. Charmaine says the Usos suck. I wouldn't say they suck. I just say the reign's been so long and so dragged out and kind of boring that it's kind of like meh at this point for me, at least. Well, Jeffrey's putting up the one, so you got one from someone else, just not me.
Good job, Jeffrey.
Well, Eva says that you're the MVP, which not a big deal to me. I hardly pay attention to what he says. And then Mike says, Ultimate Van, bro, Samantha Irving is a lovely woman as the new SmackDown ring announcer, in my opinion. Listen, Samantha Irving is a beautiful woman, and I have seen that woman in person. And yes, she is absolutely lovely and beautiful. Ricochet is a lucky, lucky man. Do you think that Theory's going to cash in on Roman? Theory's going to cash in on whoever the hell whoever is still somewhat standing during that last man standing match at SummerSlam. And then Elvis says Corey Graves is one lucky man to be married to Carmella. So you say. Mike Rick says, is there anything I could do to you to make sure you're ready for Showtime for unpopular review? Let's see. Make sure that there's nothing on SmackDown that makes my blood boil more than it already did for an hour. And then we got Charmaine saying Carmella isn't the most beautiful in WWE. I've said my top 5 before. I'll probably have a updated top 10. Carmella's still not on that one for me. And then she says, ding dong, you wrong, Elvis. Then she's asking about my picture right here.
She's a wrestler.
The girl in the green shirt. So this is a wrestler here in Orlando named Tiny Tonally. And she's a very talented little wrestler indeed. And I have some videos of her some of her matches on my channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman. Plugging that out there. Elvis is saying that Vince McMahon will be the next Maximum Male model. No. Even Max Dupree could do better. Charmaine says Lacey sucks. And then Mike says, hands down, you're the most beautiful woman on unpopular. Oh, what about Shay and Divine Intervention? Because you're always looking out for the underspited WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion Mike Riggs, and I really appreciate it. Well, thank you. Who do I think is going to be the women's tag team champions? There ain't going to be no women's tag team champions because they don't got enough women to be tag team champions because they got rid of too many women from this year. And any other women that they have left are down in NXT, and they probably going to bring some people up, and then they're going to fade into the background and get kicked out within a few months. Like Hit Row and Karrion Kross.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike Riggs says that it was 26 years ago the New World Order was born. If you're being sarcastic, I can't stand you. If you're being serious, then thank you. I've been wearing these for the last couple years. And thank you to you, Mike. And then Charmaine says hello to Mike, and then he says hello back. And then speaking of things that filled up the show, we had a little quick championship contenders match with the Usos versus Los Lotharios, which I did say once upon a time long ago that at one point Los Lotharios would probably go after the Usos for those belts.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think it would happen tonight, but I also didn't think it was going to be such a quick filler match with the way that it was. Am I the only person that felt like tonight was really rushed in terms of like what they did?
The match is short. The SmackDown match is so short. That tag team match was short.
It was super short.
I had a feeling. I thought that the other team was gonna win. I'm so confused about that.
I mean,
I thought Star was gonna win, but
usually when they have the Usos tag team on TV as of late, they always have them lose so that other people can go after them. But right
yeah,
now, they're going to have them do the thing at SummerSlam with them versus the Street Profits one last time, especially because during Money in the Bank, technically, Montez Ford did not get pinned down all the way. His left shoulder was up from the ground, as Kayla pointed out after their match when they won, that they cheated. And then when they said, like, do the undisputed tag team champions need to cheat? The only reason y'all are the undisputed tag team champions was because there was cheating involved. From your cousin Roman Reigns, who was so bitter that Riddle was able to kick him in the face and get away with it, that he had to cost RK Bro the championship, and then basically y'all put Randy Orton in the freaking hospital for 5 months.
He's gonna be out for a year.
I know. I forgot how long it was. But it feels too long since he's been on our TV, and I cannot wait for him to come back. But speaking of things that came back and I was not super excited for.
Speaking, you know who's supposed to fight Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? It was supposed to be Randy Orton.
I know it's supposed to be Randy Orton. And then those two decided, yeah, we're not going to have Randy Orton fight our cousin because we're going to make sure that he can't at all by breaking the crap out of his back.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of things that didn't happen, we were supposed to have Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, but instead we get Drew McIntyre versus Butch, and even Drew looked like, I'm so fucking done with this. I don't even want to do this shit. And the match was short too, but it was still a little more entertaining than the Usos versus Los Lotharios, I'll say that.
I'm liking Butch.
Watching Drew look so uninterested when he pushed Butch into the corner at first. I was like, yeah, this is going to be real short, real fast.
Butch character is so cake to life. I like Butch character.
It's not bad. It's still taking some time for me to get used to, but he's having fun with it. So be it.
Yeah.
But that was the way that SmackDown had ended, especially with Rich Holland trying to attack Drew and then Sheamus trying to get everybody together. And it was a kind of not so great way of it ending. Honestly, it felt like tonight was just kind of a meh night.
They're probably going to redo that match. Drew
versus Sheamus. If they drag this out, they'll probably add this to SummerSlam. I mean, we already got Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. We got Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. We're probably going to get Liv Morgan versus Natalya versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And we'll probably get the New Day versus the Viking Raiders at SummerSlam too. And of course, the Street Profits versus the Usos.
I think that's a special guest referee.
I do wonder who will be the special guest referee. Maybe it's someone who has like kind of a little issue with the Usos and wants to like make sure that they don't win. What if it's Riddle? That'd be funny. That'd be funny if Riddle were the special guest referee. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it'd be funny if that were to happen.
Riddle's supposed to fight Seth Rollins, I read.
Huh?
Riddle is going to fight Seth Rollins.
Ah, okay. Well, they can
My
do
assumption is it could be Wale. Wale could probably be the special guest referee.
Well, time will tell in a few weeks.
Wale, if you listen to this, you know Wale, he's a big wrestling fan, right? Wale, if you listen to this, you should be the special guest referee in the Usos versus the Street Profit match.
Well, we gonna see who's gonna do that. Let's see some of these other comments that we got going on. Oh, look at that! Elvis can give me a compliment since the first time that I've been on. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then he's saying Angelo Dawkins should have turned heel on Montez Ford a long time ago. I get where he's coming from with this because there's been articles coming out with them trying to make a storyline looking like they're not getting along, that they're eventually going to split, and one of them's going to turn on each other to push for a singles run. I mean, they've been NXT, Raw, and SmackDown champions, so it's going to be kind of sad seeing them split, but it'll also be good to see them do their own thing. The problem is when these things happen with tag teams, one becomes the more successful one, and the other one gets blown out into obscurity. But they're both very talented. I'm worried that, especially with the push they want to give Montez, that he might get the one put up into stardom, and that unfortunately Angelo Dawkins is going to get so forgotten. He's going to get put into Max and Male Models because Mansoor and Mace literally had nothing to do, unfortunately. That's the only reason why those two are in there. They'll probably give Angelo Dawkins a new name, or they'll probably call him Angelico or something like that from one of those too. Then we got Mike saying, Wrestling Doll, you and Shayna should be the first ever Unpopular View Women's Tag Team Champions, because on behalf of me and my tribal chief Chris Harris, that you and Shayna Hudson should be the first ever Unpopular View Women's Tag Team Champions of the world, in my opinion. If you actually did say that and mean that, I'm going to be surprised, but I think it should be a little bit of a faction thing with me, Shayna, and Divine Intervention. Just saying. I don't want to leave no woman out. Then we got him saying, I'm very serious because hands down you are someone I'd like to call a member of my family. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Well, Charmaine says she has to go. She's going to go sleep. First playing Among Us. Well, good night, Charmaine. Thank you for joining us.
Good night, Charmaine.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, Elvis. I appreciate it. And then Elvis says, and then Mike says to sleep tight. Well, I mean, SmackDown tonight was just kind of short. It wasn't like really long. Like a lot of it wasn't that entertaining for me. The only thing I was more so entertained was the whole Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey, Natalya thing. That was the only thing that was really entertaining to me, in my opinion. Everything else kind of bored me. For the
most part. Okay. It was not the greatest SmackDown show, but it was alright.
Like, if I had to grade it, I'd probably give it like a C. Not even a C plus. Like a C. Like, could have been like average. Like, was fine. Could have been better. Wasn't the worst SmackDown we've seen.
True. They're gonna have to make SmackDown better because
they have to make it better, especially with anticipation for SummerSlam. I mean, hello.
I'm gonna go to the road. I'm gonna go to the road before SummerSlam.
Nice. Well, hopefully they can make this SummerSlam good and as anticipated as last year's was, especially with everything they had going on. They had really decent promos for it last year. Hopefully they can try to redo some of that magic somewhat.
Last year's SummerSlam was really good.
Well, I mean, we got that to look forward to, and we got other things here to look forward to here on Unpopular Review. I know we haven't said it much, but give us a like, love, and share. Tell all your friends. Follow all of us on our social medias, which will be all around us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, right here on our YouTube channel. You can follow me on my channel as the Unofficial Camera Woman, where I film wrestling shows and occasionally a concert or two here in my local town. You can also follow our UPRE sister, See the Superior, on her YouTube channel. Give her some love as well. You can follow Mike Knox on Perfect Plex Radio, where he talks all things for the intelligent wrestling fan every Monday with the Z is Silent Dice Man over here. We also got on Tuesdays NXT 2.0 reviews with Bad Guy Jack and Captain Shay, and sometimes myself joining when some help is needed, which I always have fun. Wednesdays, you got All Elite Wrestling with the All Elite married couple of All Elite Joker and Divine Intervention. Then you got Friday Night SmackDown with myself and the Ultimate Fan, and occasionally whoever else can combine help, talking all things SmackDown. And then we also have UPR Entertainment. We have UPR Gaming. We'll also be having sports where we discuss movies, TV shows, where we play video games and stream and talk to everybody. And as for with the sports, not sure what's happening with that yet, but I'll find out that too. And then occasionally we do play some Family Feud. So whenever that happens, if any of you have any teams that you want to bring onto the show and have fun with, send us a message and let us know.
Barbie, you should be on my team for Family Feud.
I mean, I'm not the greatest, but I'll give it a try when that happens.
Me too.
But
no, just to have fun.
I did have fun the last couple times I did it. I won't lie. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we say au revoir?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Unproper Review. I had a good time chatting up before you people on here. Until next time.
And we got one last comment from Mr. Mike Riggs. He says, alrighty, Unpopular Review fans and myself and Patrick. It has been an excellent show tonight, and I will see you guys next week. And of course, I will keep in touch with you guys. Have a good night, be safe, and drink a lot of water, and enjoy your weekend. And in the words of the late great Richard Dawson, we love ya. See you on the feud. Bye-bye.
Peace.